Hello everyone, I, Bernardus from Group 1, then H number 8, with my partner Otto Daniswara number 23, are going to talk about the history of Aceh Darussalam Sultanate. The points that we are going to talk about include the beginning of the Sultanate, the heyday, the fall, the Aceh War, legacy, and exemplary values of the characters. First, let's start with the beginning. Aceh Darussalam Sultanate was built by a sultan named Ali Muhayyad Shah in late 15th century, to be exact in 1496. This sultanate was preceded by a kingdom of Lamuri that then combined its territory with other kingdoms nearby, including Daya, Batir, Liti, and Nakur. Furthermore, in 1524, the Pasai region had become part of the sovereignty of the Aceh Sultanate followed by Aru. In 1528, Ali Muhayyad Shah was succeeded by his eldest son, Salahuddin, who was then in charge until 1537. Then Salahuddin was replaced by Sultan Alauddin Riayat Shah Al-Qahar, who led the Sultanate until 1571. Now let's move on to the heyday. Hikayat Aceh said that the Sultan who was forcibly deposed, including Sultan Sri Alam, was overthrown in 1579 because of his excessive temper in distributing royal assets to his followers. His successor, Sultan Zainul Abidin, was killed several months later because of his cruelty and because of his addiction to hunting and animal fighting. Kings and the rich offered the crown to Alauddin Riyad Shah Said al-Mukamil of the Darul Kamal dynasty in 1589. He immediately ended the period of instability by eliminating the wealthy who opposed him while strengthening his position as the sole ruler of the Aceh Darussalam Sultanate, which impact was felt on the next sultan. During the time of Sultan Alauddin Riyad Shah Said al-Mukamil, a diplomatic mission was brought to the Netherlands in 1602 under the leadership of Tuanku Abdul Hamid. The Sultan also sent letters to various world leaders, such as Turki Selim II, Prince Maurits van Nassau, and Queen Elizabeth I. All of this was done to strengthen Aceh's position of power. Aceh Sultanate then experienced the widest period of expansion and influence during the reign of Sultan Iskandar Buta, which was from 1607 until 1636. During his leadership, Aceh conquered Pahang, which was the main source of tin. In 1629, the Aceh Sultanate attacked the Portuguese in Malacca with a fleet consisting of 500 warships and 60,000 marine troops. The attack was in an effort to expand Aceh's domination of the Malacca Strait and the Malay Peninsula, but unfortunately it failed. Now we move on to the fall of the Sultanate. During the time of Sultan Alauddin Johar Alam Shah, which was from 1795 to 1824, a descendant of the Sultan who was exiled, Said Hussein claimed the crown of the Sultanate by adopting his son to become Sultan Saif al-Alam. Civil war broke out, but thanks to the help of Raffles and Koh Clay Huan, a merchant from Penang, the position of Johar, who spoke French, English, and Spanish, was returned. It didn't end there. The civil war occurred again in the power struggle between Tuanku Sulaiman and Tuanku Ibrahim. To strengthen the defense of the eastern region, Sultan Mansur Shah sent a fleet in 1854 led by Admiral Tuanku Hussein with a force of 200 boats to ensure Aceh's rule of Delhi, Langkat, and Sertang. But unluckily, in 1865, Aceh left the area with only the conquest of the Kampai Island fortress. At the end of November 1871, this so-called Sumatran Treaty was born. Since then, efforts to invade Aceh had been increasingly voiced, both from the Netherlands and the Batavia. The Ule Balang and the Sultan's special envoy were assigned to seek help from Turkey's old allies. However, the conditions at that time were not possible because Turkey was at war with Russia in Crimea. Aid efforts had also been sent directly to Italy, friends to America but to no avail. The Council of Eight, which was formed in Penang to win British sympathy, could not do anything about it. For this reason, the Dutch established themselves in surrendering the capital. Then, in March 1873, Dutch troops landed at the Termin Meraksa beach, marking the beginning of Aceh War.
The Aceh War began when the Dutch declared war on Aceh on March 26, 1873, after making several diplomatic strides, but failed to capture a large areas. War flared again in 1883, but once again failed, and in 1892 and 1893 the Dutch considered that they had failed to take Aceh. In 1896, Dr. Christian Snowgrunsch, an expert on Islam from Leiden University who had succeeded in gaining the trust of many Aceh citizens, advised the Dutch to embrace the Uli Balangs and crush the ulama completely. This question was only implemented during the time of Governor-General Johannes Bernardus which Marsus armies was formed and GCE Mandelen was sent to pursue all the Aceh fighters in the interior. They keep fighting, but unfortunately in January 1903, Sultan Muhammad Tausya finally surrendered to the Dutch after his two wives, children and mother were arrested by the Dutch. Panglima Polem Muhammad Daud, Tuanku Raja Gulumala, and Tuanku Muhammad followed him in the same year in September. The struggle was continued by scholars of the tradition of Tengku Cik Indiro and ended when Tengku Mayidin Indiro, or better known as Tengku Mayid, died in 1910 on Mount Halimun. Now let's talk about the legacy of the Sultanate. First, I'm going to talk about Taman Sari Gunungan. Taman Sari Gunungan, or Taman Putropang, is the park of the Kingdom of Aceh Darussalam, which found by Sultan Iskandar Muda for his convert Putropang, who came from the Kingdom of Pahang. The original name of this park was Taman Peira, as mentioned in the Bustanus Aladdin book. This park was built because the Sultan really loved Princess Pahang, so that the Empress would not be lonely when the Sultan lived in the confinement. The construction of the park is said to have been a request from Putropang, the king's doctor, who was brought to Aceh by Sultan Iskandar Muda after the conquest of Kingdom of Pahang. Next one, the Indrapatra Fort. Indrapatra Fort, also written as Indrapatra Fortress, is a Hindu-style fort located in Aceh Pusat district in Aceh. This fort was originally used as a defense building from enemy attacks into Aceh. This fort was built during the Kingdom of Lamuri, a Hindu kingdom in Aceh before the time of Islamic kingdom. Baitur Rahman Grand Mosque is a mosque located in center of Banda Aceh, Aceh Province in Indonesia. Baitur Rahman Grand Mosque is a symbol of religion, culture, spirit, strength, struggle, and nationalism of Aceh people. Now we move on the exemplary value. The first one is Teuku Umar. Teuku Umar was a hero from Aceh who fought by pretending to cooperate with the Dutch and was famous for his guerrilla war strategy. He fought the Dutch when he had collected a lot of weapons and money. Next one is Sultan Iskandar Muda. Sultan Iskandar Muda was the greatest sultan during the Sultanate, which ruled from 1607 to 1636. Aceh achieved its heyday during the reign of Iskandar Muda, where his dominion and international reputation were growing as the center of trade and study about Islam. The final one is Sultan Muhammad Tausya. Muhammad Tausya was the last Sultan of Aceh. Sultan Daud was crowned Sultan at the Mosque of Indrapuri in 1874 until he surrendered to the Dutch on January 10, 1903, because his wife and children were captured. That is going to wrap out this presentation. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope that it was knowledgeable about Aceh Darussalam. Goodbye, everyone.